Hello, my name is Katie MacIntyre, and I'm your host for the video podcast, The Loving Cup, Elevate Your Gratitude. And today is Friday, the 26th of October, 2018, and we're live from the FingerLakes1.com studios in Seneca Falls, New York. So welcome. So today I have two guests in the studio with me, and one of them is actually my first returning guest. So he was a guest with a friend of his back in November of last year, and he's back with a different friend today, so I'm excited to introduce him in a moment. But today I actually wanted to kick off with a quote that I picked out especially for him, based on some great things I've seen from him in the past year. So this is a quote from Calvin Coolidge, who was the 30th President of the United States, and it reads, "All growth depends upon activity. There is no development, physically or intellectually, without effort, and effort means work." And with that, I would like to introduce Vincent Gleason, back in the studio again, and Robin Jackson. So welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me back.
It's good to see you back. So let's talk a little bit about gratitude and share. Talk to me about the last year, because it's been about a year since you've been in the studio, Vin.
I mean, the last time I was on the show, I was still battling some illness, and speaking of gratitude, it's Robin was. I have nothing but great things to say about her. She would, when I was not doing very well, she came by my house all the time. Was constantly coaching me on different things, trying different remedies. So I didn't know it was going to grow into something a year later that it has today. So just phenomenal. I can't be happier.
That's great. And before you answer, would you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you and your business?
Absolutely. My name is Robin Jackson. I'm the owner of Serenity Wellness in Auburn, New York. Basically, what had started me on my holistic journey was I had a major injury myself 10 years ago that left me 100% permanently disabled. But then really wanting to give back to the public was my daughter's story.
Okay. And will you share more about that later?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So for the past year for you, is there something that bubbles to the top that you're just most grateful for?
I really just think surrounding myself with positive people, Ben like himself, just letting go of the negativity and just surrounding myself with like-minded people has really instilled a power of positivity within myself that has just allowed me to give back to others as well.
That's awesome.
So I'm very grateful for that.
That's great. And it's contagious.
Absolutely.
So that's a good thing too. How about your whole life? If you think about your whole life, is there something that you're most grateful for?
Ooh, there's so many. I mean, for me, it's always going to be my kids. I mean, they had such a long battle from when they were little to, and now they're doing great. So that would be, I wouldn't change anything. Everything that from then to now has been, we've had some struggles, but to me, education, and education's key. Then maybe I can help somebody else from what I've learned. So I'm hugely grateful for that.
Super. And you have your daughter is going to get her gold award soon, right?
Yes, we were just Robin and I were just talking about that because my house was 3 rooms full of school supplies. They're going to Casey Park next week. That she's been collecting since August, I think it was, for her gold award. So she did an amazing job for that, and she's looking forward to college. I'm not, but she is.
That's super. For those that don't know, the gold award is the highest award a Girl Scout can receive. It's like the equivalent of the Eagle Scout, the Eagle Award. So it's quite an accomplishment. So congrats to her.
Oh, I'm sure she's watching somewhere.
And how about for you, for your whole life?
I guess I would have to say for my whole life is I'd be grateful for just being perseverant, just really just keep pushing through everything, between the obstacles that I've had, the obstacles I've had with my children, just to be able to see that as long as you keep pushing forward and working hard and educating yourself, there's always the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's definitely worth it, and we've seen that first and foremost over and over again the last couple of years.
And it's important, I think, to say it out loud too, because life is not easy, and it's a different path for everybody. We all have our own experience, but to remember that the sun comes up tomorrow, and we have a lot of strength inside ourselves. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about you and your story and things that you've experienced in your life. So how about if you can share what you're most grateful for in the other, and either of you can go first.
I'll start. For me, there's a couple things. Like I said, when I was really ill, she was there. She was always sending me messages. She was coming by the house. It's one thing when you're popular and you're doing a lot of things in the community. It's another thing when you're really sick and very few people know really what's going on. So, one, I was grateful for that. Two, the wellness center that she just opened. She's given me the opportunity to host support groups where I can share my story and possibly help other people, because that was one thing I was looking for last year, was some kind of support group for something that I was dealing with, and I really couldn't find it. So those are the two things I'm grateful for, especially in the last year.
Those are two great things.
So I would have to actually say I'm grateful for his friendship. When I look at a definition of a friend, Ben is like the prime image of it. He's trustworthy, he's honest, I can depend on him, and I can't say that for everybody. So just to know that, where we started, he worked at the mall, and I was a tenant, and just to see where it's transpired, I'm extremely grateful for that, because I went from an acquaintance of Vince to a friend of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree, because, back at the mall, I didn't know anything about holistic healing. I was very naive to it. And now it's pretty much 24 hours of my day. My entire day is planned around it. So I never thought I would see that grow into that today, but very thankful that it has.
So I want to hear a little bit more about your support groups and a little bit more about what kinds of services you offer to your clients and to people that you help. So do you want to start with the wellness?
Sure. So basically at Serenity Wellness, I offer some alternative healing methods. I offer Reiki, care raindrop technique, also aroma freedom technique, and I also have biomat sessions. I also have a life coach in with me. Okay. We offer guided meditation and Kundalini yoga, as well as some alternative holistic healing products for people as well. So we have a mixture of services and things that they can take home with them.
Okay. And are there a variety of reasons why people come to Serenity Wellness, or is there one thing that is kind of the most common reason?
No, I would definitely say there's a wide variety of people. Everybody has their own, like you said, their own path. They have their own stories. They have their own ailments that they're dealing with. So the nice thing is that when I meet with somebody for the first time, I just kind of, with their permission, I ask them, kind of what's going on with them physically, emotionally, what they're seeking. And then we go from there as far as, kind of to look at what treatments would best suit them or what products might suit them best.
Okay. That's great. So very individualized care.
Absolutely.
That's super. And so you have a support group that you started, which is great. You saw a need in the community. There wasn't anything when you needed it. So
correct.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I think we're in like our 4th or 5th week. It's fairly new. I thought it was going to be one of those things where I'd probably be sitting there for a couple months and nobody come by, because it's really hard to. It took me a long time to want to not only go to a support group, but to lead one is a whole different story. To get to have that strength was something that really took a lot, and it's been pretty overwhelming. Like it's been phenomenal. All the different, I can think of different people that have come out with multiple different ailments and reasons for coming. My focus is it's general illness, but more along the lines of CBD support. Because that's the road I went down about 4 months ago or so. So there's like she says, there's a lot of people that come out for different ailments, and I'm not a doctor by any means, but I at least try to put the social work part of my degree to work, and if I can connect people to somebody else who can help them, that's what I spend like 4 days a week doing pretty much in my spare time. If I can connect somebody to somebody else, that's what I really enjoy doing now.
Yeah, I see that in you. You're definitely a connector.
Yeah, and the support group is just another arm for that, where people can come out and, if I tell them my story and how I was on antibiotics for over 100 days over the last year and a half, and how I, after that, said, the last time I was on the show, I probably weighed 18 pounds less or so, and that chose me to go down this path. If I can help somebody with something that's working for me, and if it saves them thousands of dollars, or if they can sleep better the next day. Like you spoke of waking up in the morning, I literally wake up every morning and I open my eye, I'm like, all right, I'm still here. So it's that's kind of what I'm looking for the support group, those type of people. They don't even have to be battling an illness. There's some people that'll come out that just maybe they're I've got some people lined up that are in other different health fields that just want to come out and talk to people, which will be next year. So it's
already expanding it. I love it.
Oh, I've got plans.
That's good. So I'm not sure if everyone knows what CBD is. Could you explain that?
I'll let her explain.
Okay.
She's the whiz to CBD. I'm like the Luke Skywalker. She's Yoda. Like she teaches me everything. So I'll let the master discuss that.
Yoda. That's a compliment. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
A little bit taller, but.
So basically, CBD oil is the healing elements of the cannabis plant. There's two versions of the cannabis plant. There is marijuana that is 10 to 15% THC, and then there's CBD oil, which is 0.03% THC or less. So what they have done is they distill it by using CO2 distillation, and they distill the entire plant and remove all the healing properties from it. So I like to call it like a one-stop shop just about, because one product helps so many ailments, anywhere from just basic immune support to anxiety, chronic pain, all the way up to some major illnesses.
So it's an oil that people can ingest, or just they can just have a few drops of it, or how do you I'm not so familiar with the product.
Okay. So basically it's usually used sublingually underneath the tongue. Some people can vape it, but that's usually just for anxiety purposes because the results are instant. But I personally recommend it's based on, you go low and slow. So you start off at a very slow dose and work your way up so they can find out the best dose that works for them. As well as we don't want to overload the echocannabinoid system because then it defeats the purpose of the product itself. So it's just really based on what's going on with them, if they need to take it on a daily basis or on an as needed basis.
Okay. Interesting. That's good. So I like to hear a little bit about the community and things that are going on in the community. I know you're both involved in things. So can we talk about gratitude in the community?
Absolutely. I guess we can use this part to lean into the event that we're going to bring back. I'm really happy to announce we're going to bring back our Christmas run, which people message me every year. Last Christmas I had no energy to want to run anywhere. I really haven't run in 5 years until I started running with you on and off in the summer. And now it's kind of grown back into where it's a daily routine. So I'm able to put these events on again. So doing this Christmas run and be able to collect canned goods for the food pantry is a huge thing for me. I've been doing it, for 10 or 12 years in different formats. And last year I couldn't do that, and it really bothered me. And I've just kept going, all right, I just got to keep working until I can start doing these things again. So, I'm really happy that we can, partner with Robin and we can run this event from the Wellness Center Christmas Day. And it's just a fun get together, bring some canned goods, have a coffee, hot chocolate, leave the Wellness Center, run around Casey Park, come back, and then go spend the rest of the day with your families. And then I'll do the work of just distributing everything after.
That's great. So it's on Christmas Day.
Yep.
Okay. And where should they should go to Serenity Wellness?
Yep. We'll meet right at the Wellness Center. It used to be at Family Video for many years, and then we'd run to Hoops Park, but this year we're going to do it at the Wellness Center and run the other direction because I just couldn't foresee with how everything we're doing is so aligned. I couldn't see doing it anywhere else. To me, it wouldn't feel right. So, I mean, we have that giving center that's working right now, so I just figured let's do it from there, and just seems like the right thing to do.
That's great. So people, should they wear a Santa costume?
Sure, if they'd like.
It'd be fun. See hundreds of Santas running through the city of Auburn.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I usually have some Santa shirts and reindeer antlers when I run, so I'm sure there's some pretty horrible pictures of me in the paper somewhere doing this a couple times.
So can people find it on Facebook or anywhere else too?
It's not online yet, but I should have it.
Well, I know this is the big
weekend.
Announcement.
So I kind of saved it for here. Excuse me. There are drop-off locations at Landers Chiropractic, at the Wellness Center, or they can drop it off at my house if they want at 26 Morris Street. I don't care. I'm an open book. So it just feels good to keep giving. I mean, I don't really want to fill my house up 24 hours a day.
Well, let's get the school supplies out of there first before you end up with all those.
Well, they're leaving Wednesday,
goods.
So the canned goods can start coming in after that.
That's good. And is there a cost?
No, just bring canned goods and
okay. So bring a canned good, and you have an entry into.
We'll leave at 1:00. It's pretty laid back. It's run at your own risk. There's no closed roads. That's the way it's always
been. So I'm
been.
trying to picture where that will be, Vin. So I'm trying to picture where it's from Seymour, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So can you jog my memory on where people are going to be running?
Yeah, it's going to be Seymour, and you're going to head out like down Seymour and take a right like you're going to Falcon Park. And
okay.
You're going to go back into Casey Park. There's a mile back there, which I used to run a race back there. Then you're going to come back. And
okay.
It's somewhere around 5K.
So you'll go up North Division?
Yeah.
To past Falcon Park
yep.
to Casey?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
That's great. And there shouldn't be too much traffic on Christmas Day.
No. There's usually not. I mean, the other years that we ran it, I think the only car was a cop car wondering what we were doing out there. Because, it started, there was like maybe 5 to 10 of us, and then it was like, 40, 50. Then the third year grew a little more. So we're going to have to build it back up again.
Okay.
I'll be happy if, one person shows, so. It only takes one to get the ball rolling.
That's true, and then they can invite some friends. So
absolutely.
Plus, if you plan your meal later in the day on Christmas, you could get in a nice run. Then you can have an extra piece of pie, and
that's kind of why I always put it in the middle of the day, because there's those people that get up with their little ones and they want to do something. And that little ones, they're tired by 11 or 12 o'clock. So
you get up at 4 to open your presents.
Yeah. So I always put it at 1:00 because sometimes if you're a family that does dinner, it's right in the middle of the two. So, yeah.
Yeah. So what's the name of the run?
It's the Spirit of Christmas, because it's really the spirit of Christmas. I mean, you're not only you out there giving yourself, but you're giving to the food pantries on Christmas Day.
Super. And so, Robin, so you're involved in that event. Are there other things that you're grateful for in the community, opportunities to do different things, or the area?
I would have to say a big thing that comes to mind with me is just being grateful for the community's willingness to open up to me. Basically, some of the things that I offer can be a really touchy subject for a lot of people. So allowing them to just open up and trust me has been wonderful, and I'm very grateful for that. And just being able to see just more community coming together to support one another. And there's so much negativity in the world, so just seeing things like the support group and the people that are coming together at the shop or even outside it's really filled my heart with a lot of happiness and gratitude.
That's great. That's good. So we're gonna, pretty soon it's gonna be holiday time, Thanksgiving and Christmas time and other holidays. Do you have any quick things you could share with people on things that they could do to to keep their body and their mind feeling as well as possible.
Yeah, I think with that, it's making sure, being mindful to take some time out for yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. Some people don't even have 5 minutes a day, but it's just really important just to set some time aside for some self-care and self-love, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So even if it's just reading a book for a few minutes, taking a bath, listening to a meditation tape, taking a walk, just really loving on yourself so you can get back to those that you love.
It's really good advice. Put your phone down. Go for a walk.
Exactly.
That's good. Any tips you would add, Vin, from just your experience in the past year?
No,
things that have helped you?
The one thing that's helped me is the community's been great, because back in February I started working with my brother in a program and taking him around, and the community seemed kind of closed to different things, trying to get him to volunteer, where today he's volunteering at over 5 different places every week. It's just phenomenal. I just want people to keep, you never know, keep opening your arms up. You never know if something's going to work out for you. And that's really it, because it's a lot. I found a lot of closed doors getting here, and now it seems it's turning around a bit, and I just really hope that it keeps going that direction.
That's great. So I see your brother out and about in lots of different places. What kinds of things is he doing?
He is everywhere. He's with me 5 days a week, and he volunteers at Seymour Library. He cleans the shelves. I straighten the books. He volunteers at Farm Boy Graphics. He cleans there. Landers Chiropractic, the Wellness Center. He comes in the Wellness Center every Thursday, and we're adding one more. I just can't remember what it is at this time. He's got a pretty busy schedule. Goes on road trips on weekends. So where this time last year that door was closed. So I'm just grateful for the community and how supportive they've been going around. And he's got kind of a social media following, which cracks me up, because we post photos at all of his locations, and he's got over 100,000 views right now.
Wow.
Which is really mind-blowing.
That's super.
I get the notices on my phone, and is this real? Is this right?
Go Kyle.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. So it's keeping up with him's been fun.
Well, I think it's important for communities to have open hearts and open arms for every citizen, and there's people
Absolutely.
at different abilities and
Yep.
Different capabilities, and it's important to be inclusive and welcoming. And so I'm really happy that he's having such a good experience.
Yeah, I agree, because maybe years ago disability was such a fine line, where I feel in my heart we all have a disability. We all have at least one that I consider a disability. So why should what I'm dealing with be any different than someone with autism? So I think we're all together. So I don't know. That's just me.
We'll have to see if we can have Kyle come on the show. Maybe he would like to be a guest.
Oh, you never know. He's a funny one. So you'd probably tell a joke knowing him.
We could see. So you're both parents. Could you share something about being a parent, what you're most grateful for from the experience?
I'll let you start.
I would have to say, because I have 2 daughters myself, and then when my husband and I married, I then was blessed with 4 more children. And I would have to say, my thing that I'm grateful for the most with my children is the bond that I share with them. To have them be able to come to me at the good times and the bad times, and just they know that I'm not going to judge them. A thing that my oldest daughter shared with me yesterday was, she put it on Facebook but tagged me in it, and it was just, some people are embarrassed to hang out with their moms or don't want to be seen with them, and she's like, and I'm grateful that my mom is my best friend. And so just to know that my children, no matter what, they'll come to me is my biggest, as a parent, my heart is full.
Beautiful. How about for you?
I mean, for me, I've grown very basic. It's like, I'm thankful that I can just get up and see them every day. There's a lot of broken families out there. There's a lot of, my wife and I were just talking the other day. There's a lot of children looking for foster care, and that I can just wake up and see them every day. For me, is like that's all I need. That's in the last year, that was pretty much my motivation to get back to where I am today. If I didn't have that, I'm not sure where I'd be, to be honest. So that's it, first and foremost. Nothing to me is over that. Nothing's beneath it. It's just, that's the one thing.
Super. So what does the year ahead look like for both of you?
Ooh.
Myself, I mean, we don't know what the future holds exactly, but my vision is huge. I hope that within the year that we have actually outgrown our space, and that Ben and I continue to partner together to just really be able to give the community what it needs. And it's not just about servicing their emotional and physical well-being, but the entire package, and just to give back. We've got some things in the process between the support group and the runs that he's starting to do. We also at the Wellness Center give back to heal a lot, just to be able to support the community as much as we can, and not just look at the pretty picture, but to know that there's people that are really struggling out there that need our support as well. So I'm very excited to see where we continue and to reach out to others.
I'm excited for that for you too.
Thank you.
It's great. How about for you?
It's pretty much the same. I just want to continue my partnership with the Wellness Center, and it feels nice to join a small running group again, which up until 2 months ago, I was petrified to run. Like I'd go out the door and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. And then I'm like, just get out there and you'll be fine. And now I've got a nice group of runners that we run together, and it's enjoyable. It's, nobody's trying to race down the street. I do that on my own when they're not around. But it's, different, in a lot of different workout groups online. I work out like a madman 3 times a day. So I just have that motivation again with my kids and remembering what last year felt like. So I'm building a lot of bonds that we're working out together, and then they're coming to the Wellness Center. So it goes full circle.
That's great. Beautiful. Beautiful. Any other thoughts you want to share? We're coming to the end of our time. It always goes so quickly. Anything else? Gratitude-wise, it's burning.
I know for me, it's just, we all have struggles. I had one yesterday, which I'd been doing good, but, I'm human just like everybody else. It's just, you got to persevere, you got to push through it, and I just hope that everybody else out there can do the same thing, because there are a lot of people out there that are really struggling and getting angry and don't feel that there's hope or support out there. It's a strange thing. I always leave my phone number's been listed out there under 50 million things if you Google it for the last 10 or 12 years. I've always left that open because you never know who's going to call you. You never know who's going to need help. I had a gentleman call me, was it 3 weeks ago, out of the blue. I hadn't talked to him in years, and he just wanted to talk about a subject, and spent an hour and a half on the phone with him. So to me, that's full circle. I just want the next year to build into being an open door. If I can help one person, they can help one person, and it just keeps growing.
Beautiful.
That's my goal.
So your support group is on which night?
It's every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday?
There won't be one on Halloween, but after that there'll be one every Wednesday from 6 p.m. till whenever.
Okay. And right at Serenity Wellness on Seymour Street in Auburn.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. And they can find more information on your website or on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, beautiful. Thank you both for coming and being on the show.
Thank
It's
you.
great to have you. So that does bring us to the end of our time. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back next week with 2 more guests. Until then, be well and share your gratitude.